You've always been able to pay money or gems in Clash Royale to gain some sort of advantage. However, in recent years, Supercell has kind of made it worse and worse to pay money to win, with nerfs to beloved features like the Pass Royale and downright manipulation, from writing 10 times value or 5 times value, to changing the prices of shop offers if you are more susceptible to spending money. But have you ever wondered what is the worst deal ever offered by Clash Royale? It's easy to say one thing is a terrible offer, but in this video, I hope to truly answer that question, as I've compiled a bunch of special offers in order to truly find out what is the worst offer ever offered by Clash Royale. The first deal I have to talk about is paying 100 gems to pass the next tier in Pass Royale. Honestly, I don't even know who is paying this to advance to the next tier, as this is up there as being one of the worst offers in Clash Royale. However, since it is 100 gems, it isn't on one of the highest spots in this list. I think they have removed it though. However, what I find to be worse is paying any sort of gems to buy cards from the shop. This includes commons and epics. I don't even know why this is still a deal in the shop today, because I can't name a single person that has purchased this. 50 gems for 100 commons, let alone e-barbs, is absolutely terrible, when you could request it a couple times and you'll have 100 elite barbarians in less than a day. However, what I find to be much worse than that is buying gold with gems. Since the beginning of Clash Royale, these offers have been available to purchase in the shop. In terms of value though, it is absolutely terrible. To give you an idea, 500 gems in Clash Royale costs $5, which means you are paying $5 to only get 10,000 gold, which isn't even enough to upgrade a single card to tournament standard. To make matters worse, even buying $100 worth of gems can only get you a max of 300,000 gold, meaning that to upgrade 3 cards to max level, it would cost you $100 if you for some reason use gems to buy gold. Moving on to the special offers on this list, this deal costs around $11.50. This deal overall is not terrible, but it's still bad and deserves to be on this list. The reason that this deal is especially bad now is because 100 common wildcards only costs 500 season tokens, meaning you can get 200 common wildcards for free using 1 day's worth of free-to-play. On top of that, 25 rare wildcards costs 500 season tokens each, meaning in 4 days of free-to-play on the challenges, you can get 100 rare wildcards. However, the one thing that makes this deal semi-decent, still not good, is the 75 rare wildcards, which would be unrealistic to consider using the season shop, as you can only get 5 per 500 season tokens. Other than that, there are a few people that would buy this deal, but I don't think this deal is the worst deal in Clash Royale. And while you could argue that wildcards when they came out were worth a lot more because no one knew what they were actually worth, even if we considered 75 random epic cards, 100 rare cards and 200 common cards, this deal is still pretty bad. You thought that paying 250 gems for 5 epics or 50 gems for 100 commons was bad. This is what Clash Royale was offering as a special offer a couple years ago. I can kind of see why the mini P.E.K.K.A one is okay. By okay I mean still awful, but at least one person will buy it. But the Baby Dragon one and the Prince one is unforgivable. It's pretty much Clash Royale saying that an epic is worth 40 gems each, meaning to max one epic using this calculation, you would need 17,080 gems, since you need 427 cards to get an epic from level 6 to level 14. But once again, this deal is not the worst deal in Clash Royale. It's certainly terrible, but it's not the worst. This deal costs around 36 euros, which is around $40. I can kind of guess who this deal is targeted at. It's those who will never reach the arena when you unlock the monk, which is 6,500 trophies. But if that's the case, I would not pay $40 for pretty much only a level 2 monk. The only decent thing about this deal is they give you exactly enough gold to upgrade the monk from level 11 to level 12. But other than that, this deal is terrible. For $40 you can get much better things than only 4 monks and some gold. Definitely worse than the last deal because it costs more, but in terms of value it is ever so slightly better. I would argue that the Elite Wildcard scandal was worse than the last offer. After announcing that Elite level would not cost any gold,
it will cost to go to level 15 and...
No gold!
Supercell made this offer, with it costing 150,000 gold for only 5,000 Elite Wildcards, which is only enough for a 10th of Elite level, as well as 3,000 gems for only 12,500 Elite Wildcards, and the worst of all, up to $15 for a single Elite level wildcard, which is 50,000 Elite Wildcards. This deal was terrible in every way. The 150,000 gold option was only enough for 1/10 of Elite level on one card, meaning if you purchased 10 of them to get one card to level 15, it would have costed you 1.5 million gold. To give you a comparison, to upgrade a single card from level 1 to level 14, it costs around 240,000 gold, and this deal implied that to upgrade one card one level, it would cost 1.5 million gold. But the gem option wasn't any better either. It implied that to upgrade a single card to elite level, it would have costed 12,000 gems, which is almost $100 worth of gems. Even the best value option of the 3, which was still terrible, implied that to upgrade your entire card collection, it would cost $1,635. That is so bad that it is actually cheaper to buy a new Apple MacBook than to max your card collection in Clash Royale, and it demonstrates simply how pay to win this game has become. I don't think I have to emphasize just how bad this next deal is, but if you don't believe me, in the current season shop you can purchase 5 epic wildcards for 500 season tokens, meaning in 2 days of free to play, you can get 20 epic wildcards instead of paying almost the same amount for the old Pass Royale. This deal makes all the previous deals look somewhat decent. Starting with the deal on the left, Clash Royale was expecting people to spend $20 for only 10 epic wildcards and 3 legendary wildcards, which isn't even enough to upgrade cards above level 10 to the next level. Keep in mind this was during the time the old Pass Royale was still available, and you could have gotten all of these plus more gold and other cards for free. Even if we consider the new season shop, which isn't amazing in terms of value, you can get 10 epic wildcards for 1000 season tokens and 3 legendary wildcards for 4500 season tokens, meaning for 5500 season tokens, or around 6 days of free to play, you can get the required wildcards for this deal, showing you truly how bad the deal on the left is. But I would argue that the deal on the right is equally as bad as the one on the left. For $26 US, Clash Royale wanted people to buy 1 book of common cards and 55,000 gold. Again, while the old Pass Royale was still running. This deal was embarrassingly bad. Not only could you have gotten a book of cards every season for free, you could have gotten much more gold than 55,000 gold from the chests of the free Pass Royale tiers, and you wouldn't have to spend a single dollar on this entire deal, which in total was $46 US. For 10 champions, Supercell was charging $60 US, which means it implied the champions were worth $6 per card. To give you an idea of truly how bad that is, if it takes 31 cards to upgrade a single champion to level 14, then it would have costed $186 per champion, and in this deal you were only limited to either the Mighty Miner or the Archer Queen. Luckily for Clash Royale, they happen to be the 2 best champions in the game. However, over $180 to upgrade a single champion to level 14 with this conversion rate is still absolutely terrible. If you thought spending over $1,600 on an upgrade to level 15 was bad, well, let me introduce you to a much worse deal. 8 champion wildcards for $55 US. If you need 31 cards to max out a champion, then it would have costed $220 US to upgrade a single champion to level 14. And if we include the $15 US for 50,000 elite wildcards, then it would cost $235 US to upgrade a single champion to level 15. And since there are 5 champions in Clash Royale, doing this 5 times would cost you over $1,175 US. For only 5 cards. Let that sink in. You're probably wondering at this point, $55 for 8 champion cards seems like the worst deal of this video, but the unfortunate thing is it's not. We've definitely seen worse, and if these Black Friday deals don't prove that, then I don't know what will. Starting at the cheapest deal, according to Clash Royale, a rare book of cards and a magic coin are worth up to $90 US, but even at $15, this deal seemed like a slap in the face, especially since the Pass Royale at the time contained both of these, and even more items for only $5 US. Arguably worse in my opinion though, is $25 for only 200 epic wildcards and 10 chess keys. If we assume 200 epic wildcards to be a max value epic book of cards, then it's even worse of a deal, since the epic book of cards could have been won for free from the free Pass Royale tiers, and at that point, paying $25 for pretty much only 10 chess keys is absolutely garbage. And finally, the most expensive of the lot by quite a margin is the $100 US offer for 200,000 gold, 5 champion wildcards and 15 legendary wildcards. This deal makes the 8 champion wildcard for €48 deal look good. Not only do you only get enough champion wildcards to upgrade a champion up to level 13, only 2 level ups, you only get enough legendary wildcards to upgrade a legendary up to level 13, not even maxing out a legendary. And the worst part of this deal is that if you are close to being a max player, then you could have literally gotten 2 book of books, 2 magic coins, and 2 book of cards of any rarity from only 2 Pass Royales, which would have costed $10, and provide more value since the book of books can cover up to 20 champion wildcards and 20 legendary cards. Another sad thing about this deal is that Clash Royale added a 6 times value multiplier to it, and they were selling these as Black Friday deals, which means they thought it was actually a good deal. If you thought that Supercell nerfing the Pass Royale was bad, let me introduce you to this deal that was still running while the old Pass Royale was still a thing. Over $55 US for a single magic coin, 250 rare wildcards and 55,000 gold. If we compare this to even the free old Pass Royale, from the chests of the free tiers you could get 60,000 gold for free per season, so that already eliminates the 55,000 gold in this offer. On top of that, the free pass would also provide you with a free book of cards at tier 35, which I would consider to be better value than 250 rare wildcards, as it was clear that this deal was targeted at players who already have quite high card levels, and a book of card would have provided really good value. The only thing that you couldn't get for free on this deal was the magic coin, but by paying only $5, you could have gotten a magic coin plus a book of books and much more rewards. Overall, this deal was absolutely terrible, as its real value is probably about $2 to $3, but Clash Royale was looking for $55 US. If you thought that the last deal was bad, let me introduce you to this book of cards sale that Clash Royale was running following the Magic update. Starting at the cheapest, Clash Royale was expecting people to pay 2,000 gems for a single rare book of cards, which if we consider to be up to 1,250 cards to get a rare card from level 13 to 14, it would have come to over a gem per card, and this is at its highest value upgrade. 2,000 gems is also valued at around 15 to 20 US dollars, meaning that a single upgrade for a rare card would have costed almost $20, but it gets worse. The epic book of cards was valued at 5,000 gems, which in real life money is 40 US dollars. The conversion rate gets better for gems to real dollars the more money you spend. This also meant that since there are 29 epic cards in Clash Royale, to upgrade each card for level 14 using this conversion rate would have costed over $1,160 for only epic cards, and this is only one level from level 13 to level 14. Worst of all though is the legendary book of cards, which Clash Royale was charging over $60 for a single upgrade for a card. The worst part of this deal however was not only was this considered to be a sale, but also because Clash Royale was advertising that there was 5 available, as if they were expecting people to pay 72,500 gems on buying all the stock, which mind you is over 500 US dollars. This would for sure be the worst deal offered ever if it weren't for the fact that no one, not even Clash Royale themselves, knew the true value of book of cards at its release, since it was such a new concept. I feel like I couldn't properly complete this video if I didn't at least include any of the congratulations for reaching a new arena deals that don't contain champions, because recently they've been atrocious. For over 65 US dollars, Clash Royale was encouraging someone who just entered a new arena to buy 4,000 common cards, 1,200 rare cards, 120 epic cards and only 2 legendaries. I know that there have been somewhat worse value deals earlier in this video, but what makes this deal in my opinion the worst deal in Clash Royale is the randomness of it for every player. To show you what I mean, look at these deals. Some players would sometimes get trade tokens or a different amount of cards, or in some cases even a magic coin, and the fact that it appeared in every arena after arena 10 or 11 means that if someone were to buy it all the way up to arena 23, you would spend around 900 US dollars. And what makes this deal even worse is the cards you got in the deal were barely enough to upgrade common, rare and epic cards to level 12, assuming you unlocked it at the arena you just entered, and it was only enough to upgrade a legendary card to level 10, which in higher arenas just isn't competitive enough. I haven't even mentioned that the deal doesn't account for the gold cost to upgrade these cards, so it's even worse. Overall, this deal has so much bad about it that it's hard to even see what's good about it. I'd think that this is definitely the worst deal in this video, and in my opinion it is the option for the worst deal in Clash Royale. But I feel like the book of cards, magic coin and 250 rare wild cards, as well as the gold and Black Friday deals come pretty close in terms of how bad it is. I plan to make a second part to this video, as I know there are so many bad deals in Clash Royale, but I didn't want to include them all in one video. Thanks for watching.